Hey, welcome back, everybody. HSC Podcast 163. Big Box Steve on the mic. Big Smooth. Fresh West. Coming off NFL Week 1. Big victory for the Raiders. And a big loss for the Bears. So obviously not wearing the Bears jersey. Said I was going to wear it till they lose, and it lasted till Week 1. But we all kind of thought that was going to happen. So not a huge surprise there. Although they should have won the game. I mean,
Yeah.
they had that game, threw it away.
Well, I think we all thought the Bears were going to win beforehand because it's Caleb going into his second season, Ben Johnson, the genius, and JJ McCarthy starting his first game. And everyone was saying JJ McCarthy, he's not really a great quarterback, he's a game manager. So the Bears, I was like, and it's in Soldier Field, the 85 Bears are there.
Oh, yeah, they had all the reasons in the world to win. So yeah, I mean but they were still the underdog, which was interesting.
Well,
Uh,
Vegas knew.
yeah, Vegas knew that the Bears were going to give up 21 points in the fourth. I mean, we might as well, as we get into NFL, our week one recap doesn't hurt to start at the end, and just. I mean, I don't have a lot of thoughts on the game. I think the Bears made their own mistakes. They lost the game themselves. I think at the end of the game, McCarthy showed a lot. I think he had some nerves to start the game. He played well to finish the game, which that's bodes really well for Minnesota. Um, in particular, the Bears didn't play strong at anything except a little bit of defense in the first half. So I don't think they deserve to win, to be honest. They made it close at the end with a touchdown right at the end and possible Hail Mary chance, but that doesn't mean much.
Yeah, I looked at it and I was watching the game, and then I'd go to Twitter, and then you'd have the analyst people, and they're all talking about how, oh, JJ McCarthy sucks. But I'm like, I'm watching the game, and yeah, he had a bunch of three and outs early, but he still had pocket poise. And it's like, okay, it wasn't happening early, but it wasn't like it felt like he was panicking or giving into the pressure. Where when you watch Caleb, it's like he's always, for some reason, running around like 20 yards and doing stuff. And it's like he can't just stay in the pocket and throw the ball.
Well, it makes you wonder, or makes me wonder if, that first season is going to make him trigger shy for the rest of his career, or at least for a while. I mean, we saw this happen with Justin Fields. Remember when he came in, he got slaughtered. And then he was like, hike the ball, run out of the pocket right away, or just
Yeah.
throw it away, or, not doing good reads, things like that. So um, that affected Fields a lot. You could see it in his game, just how because he was getting hammered, just 6 sacks a game, and brutal sacks, and but it was still pretty bad for Caleb last year too. He was one of the number one sack quarterbacks in the NFL.
Right.
So hopefully that's not affecting his psyche. But the way he played on Monday, you're right. He was dancing around a lot, in and out of the pockets in weird ways, and looked like he was playing, that high school yard football.
And it worked on the first drive, but then after that, it just like
Yeah.
nothing. And like we were talking about off air, was that goes to Ben Johnson. He scripted the beginning and it worked, and then he didn't adjust to anything.
Yeah, second half in particular, right? O'Connell came out with a good game plan for the second half. Ben Johnson couldn't match it.
Right. And Brian Flores, he's out there scheming. So,
Right. Well, we all know how good of a defensive coordinator he is. So that's always helpful when you have a great defensive coordinator and you're a head coach.
and then me and Wes know how great a defensive coordinator you have in the great Dennis Allen,
Yeah, that's awesome.
giving up leads. Wes is having PTSD thinking about Dennis Allen.
It's kind of the Bears' MO, though. It's been that way for a while.
They're like, "Hey, Ravens, we'll show you how it's really done."
Show you how to lose a lead. They did it last year against the Packers too. So
Yeah, on opening day also, right?
yeah, or maybe it was a couple years ago. It was just a funny comparison of
It
Nagy
was
and
Eberflus's first game, right, as
yeah,
coach.
yeah. So it was a while back. So how about the Raiders game? Let's jump into that. Raiders, New England. What are you guys' thoughts on how the Raiders played?
They beat the Patriots, and the Patriots didn't have Tom Brady,
Yeah,
and the Patriots have Bill Belichick, and they won. That's nice. It's a nice story, but they're 1-0. Long way to go, but encouraging signs. But Genty didn't run as well as I thought he should have. They're not opening up holes like they should. Um, now, again, you can't really tell much when they're playing the New England Patriots. So we'll see what happens with the Chargers because the Chargers are good.
yeah. It's a big game.
Come on now, everyone said the Patriots are going to make the playoffs this year.
Everyone but us.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I had them on the fringe, but the Jets look better than the Patriots offensively, at least. You know, and the
no,
Dolphins are terrible.
with a Genti though, he didn't look bad. It wasn't really his fault. Okay, yes, he rushed for 38 yards. He had 44 yards after contact. Think about that. He rushed for 38 yards, but he had 44 yards after
Yeah.
contact.
Right. And that's not his. It's they got to open up holes better, and I think eventually they will as the season progresses. I mean, it might happen this week. I mean, you never know. They can open up holes, and once he gets through the first level, I would be awful scared as a defense when he gets to second and third level because he's either going to make my guys miss or he gets to the third level and he's going to lower his shoulder and embarrass guys. But the idea is to get past the first level.
Right.
And it didn't quite happen in the New England game, but it's week one. I mean, again, everyone's adjusting, everyone's trying to figure stuff out. I think it will eventually happen. But after beating, I mean, you beat the Patriots. Congratulations. You know, uh, here's your trophy for beating a team that's very subpar. Um, but again, it's a long season.
Well, I liked all, but it was on the road in the rain. And the thing is Genti did, I mean, he didn't get the yardage, but he did his job because Geno Smith ended up with 362 yards passing. And he's not going to get that if Genti, like, how many play actions did they
Right.
do?
Yeah, they're respecting the run so much. This guy's a rookie. This guy hasn't played a down in
Yeah.
real football, and you respect him that much. There are other teams that are not. There are other teams that, you know what? He just threw like 400 yards on us. We can't do that, and he's going to get off. It just wasn't the game for him to get off.
He
You know,
carried the ball 19 times, which is a lot, comparatively. But Gino, having the big game really helps Genty for next week because you got Bowers and Myers who had really strong games. So there's a lot of confidence that's going to come in throwing the ball to those two guys. So if you're the Chargers, you got to start thinking about that. I can't just focus on the run. Now I got to look at both sides of the ball or both offense, throwing the ball and running the ball.
Well, and that was the thing also is they um, showed they've got weapons because what? Bowers had over 100. Myers had 97. Tucker had 54. Thornton had 45. And Mayer had 38. So he's spreading the ball around. I mean, Mayer had 4 catches, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that, I mean,
yeah, it's good.
Tucker averaged 27 yards per catch, and Thornton's was 22.5. So the deep ball is back for the Raiders.
Well,
Yeah, Tucker and Thornton really help.
Well, and in that one, if Gino would have got more air on it, Thornton would have been gone.
But like Wes said, it's you don't want to start basing your season off a game against the Patriots.
Yeah.
So their next
But
test is
I'm
big.
looking at it as Raiders of the last few years. Would they have
Yeah.
been able to go to New England on you know, in the rain, the first game of the season and win?
well, a lot of that is Pete Carroll too. Pete Carroll is changing the culture from inside out. Um, we're going to learn how to win, even if we don't win pretty, we win ugly. We don't win the way he's a winner, and maybe he can change the culture because a lot of those look they still got they still got the ridiculous penalties, like the pass interference. Tell me this right now: if you're on 4th and 1, right? You have 4th and 1, and you throw a 30 or 25-yard pass to the sideline. You're expecting a call.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
No, it's crazy.
You can run a tight end out for 3, 4 yards and get it if you don't want to run the ball.
Right.
They were getting the calls. It was like, remember, they were just killing them in the first quarter. And all of a sudden, the calls come. And normally the Raiders would just kind of, they would implode, and they didn't. And a lot of that's probably because of Pete Carroll.
Yeah, and that was and the sad thing was that was such great coverage too.
Oh yeah.
Great
What a
coverage.
horrible
That wasn't
call.
pass interference.
It wasn't even it was like he didn't even touch him.
The culture change I think is an important part of that too. When you're talking about Pete Carroll, he brings a different level of excitement. The players are more excited to be on the field, on the sideline, in the game. Where the Raiders of the past few years, it didn't look like anyone wanted to even be there.
Well, that was a phrase I've heard a lot lately was there's grown-ups in the building now.
Yeah. So that's great for the Raiders, and that bodes well, right? And you
And
got
that's
your
what
first major test.
and that's what Gino needs. Gino can throw the ball. Gino's not a scrub. The problem is, it's like, you know what? He gets injured, or maybe he gets in his own head, but he can throw the ball at every level, all 3 levels. He can throw the ball deep. He can do mid tier. He could check down. I mean, he could throw the ball. It's just like there has to be a belief to a certain extent. Is your long term answer? No, but you know, this year, he can have a quarterback, and he played well. Statistically, he
Yeah,
played great.
he beat the narrative that they had that he doesn't win outside.
Yeah,
Well, that's the thing is how much wasn't it he only has like 4 or 5 outside games this year?
Right. But
And yeah,
he only won, a handful in the stats that were shown, of recent years
right.
in outside games. So outside in New England, that's
In
breaks
the
that narrative.
rain. But he should have been used to that in Seattle.
Right. I know. Why would coming from Seattle, you'd think outside he'd be great with it, right? But didn't do well. All right. Well, let's just do a quick week 1 recap then. We don't need to hit all the games. Money line betting or predictions last week. Derek, you said you were 10-5 or what? No,
10
10-6.
and 6.
So money line, I was 11-5. What were you money line, Wes?
not sure. It was bad. Somewhere in that territory.
You had to be around like that 7-9 at least, right?
Well, that was on the that was betting the.
I think
Oh,
because we were all pretty
yeah.
close to most games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're probably in that 10 and 6, 11 and 5 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, we struggled a little bit on the
But it's also week one, and that's the
yeah,
thing. Never bet on week one.
but it's still not bad. That's a good start. Week 2, you get to come on stronger. Game wise though, week 1, without talking about all the games, there were some exciting games, which is really for me a great part about football starting. That there's just some fun games to watch, like the Atlanta Tampa game came right down to it. The Pittsburgh Jets game came right down to it. San
Oh
Francisco
yeah.
Seattle had a crazy ending.
Yeah.
Buffalo Baltimore, like who doesn't like that?
Baltimore
Even the
fans.
Titans had a chance at the end.
Yeah. Did it?
A lot of good games, I guess, and it just really was just Indy that just kind of destroyed Miami, and then
Well, and then
Carolina and the Jets just played, or the Giants just played like their normal selves.
yeah, well, the Packers kind of put it to the Lions.
That was a surprise. So let's talk about that game for a second because one, it's a surprise of the score, but how much they dominated them and how kind of for me watching that game, they didn't look like very disciplined Detroit like you've seen them and what Campbell has really instilled into them. They just didn't look very disciplined of a team, which was really shocking to watch Detroit play that way.
Well, I think what we've had, and like I picked Detroit to win the division off of talent, but the thing that always scared me was losing both of your coordinators. And that hurts when, you don't get much of a preseason, you don't get much practicing with tackling, and you're installing two new systems on offense and defense. I would say Detroit's going to struggle for a month before we actually see the real Detroit.
Yeah, and that's a rough start in that division if especially if Minnesota starts playing well. And that's the thing is Green Bay in my mind didn't look great. I just thought the Lions looked bad.
Yeah. Yeah, Jordan Love almost gave it back to him, and then what was it like? Then they have like a personal foul or something on the interception.
Yeah, another penalty.
Yeah, because good old Jordan Love likes to throw off his back foot and throw something horrible, and it was an awesome interception by Branch,
Yeah.
and then yeah,
So I thought that was a little bit of surprise. Any other surprising games? It's a lot of fun games to watch, but I don't think anything else was like a huge surprise to me.
I mean the only huge surprise, and it's not really because we are down on them, but man, the Dolphins looked like hot garbage.
But they were playing Danny Dimes, so
That's
they had no
true.
they
It
had no
is Danny
chance.
Dimes. Me and Steve said Danny Dimes all the way.
Any surprises for you out there, Wes?
The Dolphins are, yeah, that's a given. The one thing I'll say, and like I'll go, teams that are flatlining, crashing, the Dolphins are crashing. Flatlining, you know, there are a lot of teams like that. But I think the Falcons surprised me a little bit. The way that they use Bijan in the passing game. The Falcons can be kind of mildly dangerous if everyone's healthy. I know they lost the game, but offensively, they got some weapons. And Michael Penix, that dude throws a laser
Yeah, he does.
for football. He's throwing lasers that game. You want him to throw a touch pass, he probably can't do it. But a 25-yard out, dude, I want to clock that ball that he threw a couple times. Like the one dude tried, I'm going to jump the route. Good luck there. Like, and they're kind of they if they can put some things together, they can kind of be sneaky in that division. You know,
Yeah.
because the Bucks are not a given in that division.
I
But
agree that they really even with the loss, I feel like they grew and when you talk about that either crashing flatline or maybe getting better, I think even with a loss Atlanta got better. Penix gained some confidence, throws for 300 yards. Bijan gets a lot of catches, 100 yards on catching the ball. They didn't run the ball particularly well. So if I'm the Falcons, I go back and I say, okay, what do we need to fix? And what we got to fix is, how
I
well we
mean,
run the ball and offensive line.
what I'm saying is like they are playing down in Minnesota this on Sunday, and it's good that it's in a dome because Atlanta seems like the typical dome team.
Right.
It's totally the Houston Oilers. Like back in the they play well in a dome and on turf, but if they have to play it on the road in grass, they're probably not nearly as fast and they won't be as good. It's kind of like the flavor of the week with them. But I was impressed with Penix. And I think defenses are going to struggle. Like he's really, really unconventional the way he plays. He can run the ball, but he doesn't choose to run the ball. But if he has to run the ball, he can run the ball.
Yeah.
And so I see them a little bit. It's week one, who knows? But I was just like, that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I like that game, and I like what you're saying there because I wasn't high on Atlanta much to start the season. I thought they'd be a mediocre team, but I think if they get the ball rolling and they continue that momentum, they might have that. I mean, they already have a playoff shot in that division because who knows who. I
Yeah.
mean, unless you're
I don't think
got Tampa
Carolina
going to the
should be
Super Bowl.
stealing the trophy from anybody in that division, you know. And the Saints, I mean, to me, they're tanking for Arch. They tank for Arch.
They might be, but geez, Arizona didn't look particularly great against them either.
No, they're not.
Yeah, Philly, Dallas was a little bit surprising. Dallas played a lot better than I thought they would play. I mean, if CD doesn't drop everything around the sun, I'm, I mean, just hitting him in the hands. I mean, a couple of them were tough catches, but a couple were right in the hands, and man, CD just kind of killed him there at the end.
And there's another surprise. The Texans. What the hell? You score
Oh,
9 points.
dude,
All is like, oh yeah, they're gonna be better this year. All like I pick them to win 10 games. They score 9 points with the Rams. It's not like the Rams have the 85 Bears defense here. 9 points. Nico
yeah,
Collins. Nico Collins lost my fantasy. Like
single-handedly.
I won all my fantasy games except one because of Nico Collins gave me 6 points.
Yeah, the Texans look pretty bad. I got to give them that. But there's a lot of changes on their team, so there's some meshing that I think still is going to happen with their team. So we won't really know what the Texans are till probably week 3 or 4. Okay, but I mean that's kind of wrap up there on week 1. Again, we won't get into every single game, but we did pretty well on our money line picks for week 1, so it's a good start. Let's jump into week 2 picks here. So as always, we'll start at Thursday night game. And that's an interesting one. The Commanders at Green Bay. They got Green Bay at 3.5 at home. Derek, why don't you lead us off?
Look, I'm still not sold on the Packers because of Jordan Love, so I'm taking the Commanders here. They like if you watch that game, Debo Samuel looked like Debo Samuel again. I didn't. I just think I think the Commanders will go into Green Bay because it's still early Green Bay. It's not cold Green Bay yet.
Right.
And Jaden Daniels can move. Micah Parsons still isn't 100%. So I'm going to take the Commanders here.
Commanders on the road, underdogs. I like it. Wes, what do you got?
I agree. I think the Commanders too. And Debo's a big part of it. Is I think they're going to figure out ways to get him the ball, kind of on those circle routes to limit Green Bay's rush. Getting the ball to McLaurin and stuff. Defensively, I think the Commanders are going to give Jordan Love enough problems to win the game. It's not going to be either. They're going to Green Bay, not an easy game, but watching Jay Daniels' confidence, like just even when he talks like post game or whatever, he just really relaxed. And I think his legs, he's going to move around in the pocket enough. He's going to, he's going to make plays with it, getting some rushes. And, I think they'll do enough to win the game. I'm sick of the Packer hype. Packers are going to the Super Bowl because what? They have
Jordan
the
Love.
highest paid non-quarterback in the history of football. I'm sure the football gods love that. So yeah, I'll take the Commanders.
Man, I hate to do this, but
You're
I
gonna
gotta take
take the Packers.
I gotta take the Packers.
Christ, dude.
Um, it's in Green Bay. I think it's gonna be a really close game. I think this game could go either way. The reason I think it's good for the Packers is because they're gonna have this overconfidence from beating the Lions, and that's gonna make them play better than they are. And the Commanders are coming off playing the Giants, which isn't really much of a game. So they're going to come in and they're going to battle this game out. I think it's going to go back and forth. It's really going to come down to Jaden Daniels' legs. If he rushes for 50, 60 yards and a touchdown, or maybe two, the Commanders win. If the Packers can keep him from doing that, and I think they will in Green Bay, I'm going to go with the Packers here, and that really hurts me to say. Nothing worse than having to take your rival, especially because if they win, they go 2-0. That's really brutal. All right, let's see. Oh, this is a good one for Wes. Start early morning Sunday with Jacksonville at Cincinnati. Cincinnati 3.5.
Fucking Bengals, dude. I'm already done with the Bengals. I'm already
After
done.
week one.
Can I just change my Super Bowl pick? So they change their dumb jerseys and go back to the jerseys of the 70s with a little frilly stuff on their. I already designed their jerseys. They look stupid when they play on the road. Yeah, they look really stupid playing the Browns. That was hideous. Like, they're lucky to win that game.
Very lucky.
And it's like, what is wrong with you guys? But they are playing the Jaguars. So what am I gonna do? Like, they're playing at home playing at home, they'll probably go back to form. Like, you do have the two best tandems, receivers in the league. I think they'll win the game by 10.
Ooh, the blowout in Cincinnati. I love it. I also have Cincinnati here. It's at home. I think Cincinnati's due to get off to a decent start, even though they looked horrible in week one. If they go 2-3-0, it'll give them some confidence, and maybe your Super Bowl pick might come to fruition if they can get going. But Jacksonville, I'm still not sold on yet. I know ETN had a great game, and that's a good start for Jacksonville. So there's a lot of things to be happy about from Jacksonville from week one. So this is really a test for both of these teams. And at home, I still gotta stay with Cincinnati at this point, and I'll take them and probably cover that 3.5 as well.
Yeah. I hate to say it because I think Wes, don't you have Burrow?
Yeah.
Right now, I do.
Maybe you should start Fields because Burrow's probably going to throw for 400 yards this week, and I don't want to go up against that. I think this is the game where Burrow, Higgins, Chase all break out.
Yeah. There's so much talk from, Chase not doing anything in week one. And those are the kind of guys you want to like start throwing out challenges to.
Well, and I'm banging my head because I'm in a money league, and this guy after week one traded Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase for Herbert and Amon St. Brown. And I'm like, really? You're going to
Yeah.
trade Burrow and Chase after 1 week?
1 week, giving up on
If I lose to this person that got Burrow and Chase,
them.
I'm going to be so mad.
I mean, look, St. Brown and Herbert are definitely not scrubbed players. And especially a lot of people are high on Herbert after a big week one. But yeah, I wouldn't give him up for Chase and Burrow just because of one bad week. All right. Well, we got the Giants at Dallas. I mean, Dallas looked pretty good week one, 5.5 spread. I think Dallas covers that against the Giants. I think Giants got a lot of work to do. I don't think there'll be a pushover all season, but at this point, early in the season, they just don't have any connections built. They have no consistency in their offense or their defense. So Dallas at home has got to win this.
Now, let's see. When is their bye? Because that's when Jackson Dart, or when are we going to say Jackson Dart's going to take over?
Soon.
Because, yeah, I got the Cowboys here too. Um, Russell Wilson looks done. So, yeah, Cowboys covering.
Yeah,
But
The Cowboys should win the game because Russell Wilson is a shell of himself, and they're already digging his grave in East Rutherford. They're like, okay, well, what week do we start Jackson Jar? Week? Do we start him this week? No, because give him another week to bury himself a couple more feet underground, which he's gonna do. Because the Cowboys defense is playing okay football. I think they'll be motivated. They got players. I think, and the Cowboys score enough. I think CeeDee Lamb catches the ball with his helmet a couple times this week, and they win. They cover too.
yeah. Well, you got here are the Giants. You lose this game to the Cowboys. You got the Chiefs and Chargers, so there's probably two more losses. And at that point, you're 0-4, and then you bring Jackson Dart in
Yeah.
because then you're playing the Saints.
Yeah, because they don't have a bye till week 14. So that's way too long.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. That's perfect. Bring him in against the Saints.
Yeah, that's what I probably is going to happen when you think about their schedule and how they're playing, unless somehow they pull it together and win this Dallas game because I don't think they're beating the Chargers or the Chiefs. But either way, I don't know why you keep extending Russell Wilson's time. I wouldn't even have started him this week.
Because of Sierra. That's why.
Well, I just don't understand why sign Russell Wilson and Jameis.
Right. Yeah, I mean, at least throw Jameis in there and not sign Russell Wilson, and then at least let
At
him
least
play
you'll
a
have
few
some
games.
fun.
Yeah, have some fun, throw some for 400 yards and 5 interceptions. All right, Chicago
Danny
at Detroit.
DeVito. You forgot
Oh,
about
what's up?
Danny DeVito.
Yeah, should have stuck with Danny DeVito, man.
Yeah, he's not there anymore.
Nope, should never let him go.
Tommy Cutlets.
Well, this one's probably going to be another one that's going to kill me, but I'm taking the Bears at Detroit. Don't need to worry about covering because they're the underdog. This is a big game for both these teams, is for a lot of reasons, right? Because neither of you want to go 0-2, and then it's really like a hey, can you come out and fix the mistakes that you made in week one? Because you guys were both teams were shooting themselves in the foot. Both teams didn't look very disciplined. You know, a lot of disarray. Still, some couple good things to point fingers at, but mostly it's about which team can come back and fix the problems they had in week one, put it together and win this game. And in my opinion, I think Detroit's a little further away from that than Chicago. Detroit will come around. You'll see the real Detroit, week four and after probably make their playoff run. So, but I'm still taking Chicago in this one.
Yeah, sorry, Steve. I got the Lions here because I just, yeah. After that first drive by the Bears, they did nothing. And so I don't expect them to be able to do, you're not going to be able, you don't have an inexperienced quarterback throwing to your team, throwing to the other team and stuff like that. Goff is going to make, if Gordon and Jalen Johnson are playing, it's going to be really bad. So yeah, I got the Lions and the covering.
Lions to cover. Well, hopefully it's a swing game for me. All right, Wes, what do you got?
I got the Lions too. Playing at home. Yeah. I, you know, the Lions have more weapons, I think. Running game, I think, is going to be a factor. Defensively, the Bears they're kind of opportunists in like when they want to play defense after last week. Um, it'll be a close game. I just think the Lions at home give them the edge.
All right, well, it's pulling for Chicago here. I may get 16 losses, 17 losses this year, but I'm gonna go with it. Rams at Tennessee. This is an interesting game. Rams on the road, 5.5 favorite. What you got, Derek?
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams. Cam Ward didn't look bad, but it's like he has no weapons still. I mean, Ridley dropping that pass, it's just I feel did you see the video of Cam Ward's parents and stuff?
No.
The dad was so mad. He kept getting up going because yeah, the team around Cam Ward is not very good. Yeah, I got the Rams here to cover.
He looked like the little girl from Remember the Titans up in the stands.
Yeah, pretty much. He got up and he was like,
What do you got, Wes?
Yeah, I have to take the Rams too, just because it's not like Cam Ward is bad. It's just like he has no weapons to depend on. I mean, Calvin Ridley, what is this, 2018? Like, which version of like can't No, they don't have the weapons yet. I like Cam Ward. I was looking at games. I was like, oh, they can win 8 games. I don't know now. They don't
Yeah.
have the weapons. I like him. I just don't like the weapons. I'm taking the Rams.
Yeah, it's hard to stay away from the Rams in this game. I think you guys already hit the nail on the head, so no need to beat him into the ground. But I will say Cam Ward for coming out number one, a lot of pressure on him from a team that's not very good. I know it's week one, but it wasn't just he didn't play particularly well, but he didn't fall apart, right? He showed some poise and he led the team, which is important, even if it's in a loss. So it's good for him. The Rams, on the other hand, as long as Stafford's healthy, they got the weapons. So you gotta go with the Rams there. Oh boy, here's a real fun one, Wes. New England at Miami.
I'm looking for a quarter to flip here. I love both these teams so much because they have so much potential. Um, but I'm gonna take the Dolphins just because they were so horrific last week. Everything kind of balances out. They're gonna do this probably the whole year. They're gonna look horrible on the road, and they'll look mildly decent at home, and they're everything will just average out. So yeah, I'm taking the Dolphins to win barely.
Yeah. That's such a tough game to call, right? Just because you might as well flip a coin, I think, on this one. Because it's not just about if it's going to be a close game or not. It's about which team is going to show up for which ball club. And I think they both have the same issue of they can play well, they can play really bad, they can do that throughout the game. But I'm gonna take New England here because I think they have a little bit more momentum coming off that Raider game. I think they had good things to feel good about, and I just think Miami it might be over for them. I don't know. They just do not look like a team that wants to win or can win, and maybe they'll change my mind this week. But man, they all through last season too. Like it's a carryover. So I'm gonna go with New England.
Yeah, it's a swing game for West because I'm taking New England here too. The Dolphins are just a complete dumpster fire. It's so bad. And yeah, Tyreek Hill is gonna who knows? He's got his ex-wife is charging it or getting domestic violence against him. So who knows what's gonna happen to him even? Yeah, it's just a mess there. Mike
Yeah.
McDaniel is like done. He's like already, I think, knows that he's going to be gone after this year.
Yeah, it's tough because Miami looked like when he went there that they might have a shot at being good, and they've just gone completely downhill.
Hey, Miami, maybe if you would have like listened to Brian Flores, kept him and drafted Justin Herbert like he wanted, where would you be?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean Miami, that's we'll see who shows up, but I think the West does have a point though. That's a little scary. Miami at home always plays better, or seems like they play better. All right, San Francisco at New Orleans. Jeez. Oh, so because you don't know who's playing for San Francisco at this point, but they got a defense, and New Orleans still has weapons. But they're starting Spencer Rattler, but now San Francisco might be starting Mac Jones, and no Kerry or George Kittle. So with the injuries, how they're looking right now, I'm taking New Orleans. It's at home, like New Orleans. With they have no offense coming at you outside of Christian McCaffrey. New Orleans should be able to win this game at home.
But do they want to?
Yeah, that might be a
Um,
different question.
I'm actually it is tough because like as of right now, it's Brock Purdy, right?
No, like as of pretty recently, it sounds like no Brock Purdy.
Oh, really?
Maybe for multiple weeks.
Oh
No
man.
Kittle, no Purdy.
Um, I still think Mac Jones can beat this Saints team. So I'm taking they still got McCaffrey and Pearsall. Was it Tongus came in and played well in relief for George Kittle. Yeah, and their defense is still there. So I'm taking the Niners.
All
Oh,
right. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm gonna pick Mac Jones or not?
no, I don't think you're going to pick Mac Jones. Come on,
I'm not gonna pick Mac Jones.
man.
I'm taking Spencer Rattler to win by a field goal because it's Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Taking the Saints.
Yeah, the only thing I kept taking going back and forth was they do have the defense still, and then what if late in the week here, Saturday roll, Friday night. They're like, "Oh, Purdy's going to play," but I don't think he is. So I'm still staying with New Orleans there. All right, Buffalo at the Jets. Buffalo on the road, 6.5 favorite. What do you got, Derek?
Oh yeah, I got the Bills here. The Bills are a lot different than the Steelers, and I think the Bills roll the Jets. I don't think Justin Fields is going to have as good as a game as he did against the Steelers. So yeah, I got the Bills here.
Yeah, I really want to take the Jets because Justin Fields, because I think they're. I had this feeling that this is the way that they were. The Jets don't care about winning or losing. They just want to score a lot of points and just see what Justin Fields can do. But it's the Bills, um, and I think I like what I saw from Keon Coleman. I think he's matured more. He can be a dependable target. Kincaid, more active. Like I'm just taking the Bills.
Yeah, not much of a choice here, especially in a 7 point, 6.5 point spread. I think the Bills will probably win by more than that. It's not like you're playing the Ravens this time, so New York won't score 40 points like the Ravens did, but I think Buffalo still will score 40 points. So going to be a rough day at the office for the Jets. But I still think the Jets, still think Fields has a decent game here. I don't think he gets shut down like what we've seen in the past. He's got a lot more confidence. He looked so much better, and I think he'll carry that on, but not enough to even come close to beating the Bills. So we all got the Bills there. Pretty easy one. This is a pretty tough one. Seahawks at the Steelers. What do you got here, Wes?
I got the Steelers basically because Seattle doesn't like to come out to the East Coast, and you know, I'd say if it was, Sam Darnold is, you know,
He's Sam Darnold.
he's Sam Darnold, and I think Aaron Rodgers played well enough. I think he will continue that. Defensively, I think the Steelers will be better than they were against the Jets, just because JJ Watt will just kill everybody on the team for being that terrible against the Jets. So I'm taking the Steelers.
Yeah, this is tough because I wanted to take the Steelers because they're at home, but look, man, like you guys barely squeak past the Jets. Seattle loses a tough game. They're going to come out really wanting to win. And I don't know if I just believe in Pittsburgh yet. And I think Seattle's a better team and they need the win. So I'm going to go with Seattle here.
Yep, I agree with you, Steve. I think Seattle needs it more. I think Seattle's defense is that's the thing we got to realize is that everyone talks about defenses, but they only have like a 3 or 4 year window. And I think the Steelers might be a little too old. Hayward's not out there. They did not look good.
Not against the Jets.
Yeah, so I'm taking the Seahawks on the road.
Seahawks on the road. I like it. Well, we're all over the place here. Not a lot of consensus picks yet.
It's week 2. We just
Yeah.
don't have our footing yet.
No, it's week 2. It's not like it's week 12 here. It's like, honestly, I can't pick these games because I know what I would do if I was their coaches, but they do the opposite, and that's why you have the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl every year. I was like, so exciting.
Well, we'll see in that game. That's going to be an interesting one. Cleveland at Baltimore. The Baltimore's an 11.5 favorite at home. Cleveland obviously didn't get blown out by Cincinnati, but Cincinnati looked horrible. And Baltimore has to win this game, and they're going to win it big. They will probably cover. So I'm taking Baltimore at home. They're gonna come out and just probably put a hurting on Cleveland.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the Browns here because the Ravens are going to make a statement for this game. Be like, yeah, we blew that game against the Bills. We're better than the Bills. And this one, they're going to show, they're going to come out and be like, yeah, we're going to destroy this team.
The Baltimore Ravens are the first team in NFL history to have 230 yards rushing and 40 points and lose the game.
Yeah.
277 times they win. They're the only team to lose.
Yep.
Yes, they beat the Browns. And they beat them down good.
Well, that's another consensus. So if you guys are watching and listening, bet all your money on Cleveland because you might get rich. No, I wouldn't do that. Don't listen to me. All right, it's Denver at Indianapolis. What a game, though. What do you got, Derek?
Weirdly, this one was tough because Bo Nix did not look good.
Not tough.
But is Danny Dimes going to look good against Denver's defense? That's the issue. So I'm like Steve were with the Packers. I don't like this, but I'm taking the Broncos to win.
Oh, Broncos is a favorite, even on the road.
I
They're
hope they lose, and it'd be
1.5 point
awesome.
favorite.
It is a small favorite.
Come on, dude. Oh, I'm totally taking the Colts. I'm a believer now.
You're a
Yeah.
believer in the Danny
I'm a
Dimes?
Danny Dimes believer. Danny Dimes, comeback player of the year. Look what he did last week. Yeah, I'm taking the Colts.
He's
Steve
on his
and I have been trying to get you on the Danny Dimes bandwagon for years, Wes.
right.
Yeah, but he's playing for the Colts now. He's not playing for the Giants. There's too much,
Yeah, it's a
there's
big
too much
difference.
pressure up. Have you seen him? Look at he looks like a deer in headlights. Literally in New York. It's too much pressure. And who cares what happens in Indianapolis? Yeah, I'm taking the Colts.
I'm taking the Colts here too because I got to roll with it's. Well, I actually picked both these teams to win their divisions, but because of I thought the Colts were going to start fast, I'm going to take them here. I think the Colts. We'll find out more about the Colts halfway through the season. They may even go like 4-1, 2 or 5-1, but that won't tell you how they're gonna finish. So Denver, I think, didn't look particularly great. I think you're right. They still have a little bit more. They're really young, right? They're really young, so they have a lot of work to do. So I'm gonna take the Colts here. Oh, game of the week: Arizona or Carolina at Arizona. Arizona's 6.5 favorite. Wes.
Who?
Carolina at Arizona.
Well, Arizona's favorite, right?
Yeah, 6.5 at
Yeah.
home.
Oh yeah. I'm taking Arizona because they better win the game because Kyler's my starting quarterback on my fantasy. And he didn't do too well last week. So he's gonna do better this week. So I can win this week. So yeah, I'm taking Carolina. I'm taking Arizona.
Yeah, I made the Carolina mistake last week. That's not going to happen again. I'm definitely taking Arizona here. Cover probably. Yeah, I'll take that too. Carolina, I don't know. It's just you just can't trust them. And Arizona at home, a few too many weapons. Taking AZ.
Well, the Cardinals can start off. I'm looking almost 4-1 or 5-0 their first 5 games. So then their schedule gets really tough. So we'll see. They might go 4-1, and then win 4 games the whole year. But yeah, I'm taking the Cards here. Because yeah, Bryce Young, it was bad. Like he was throwing his helmet. Um, yeah. It looks
I'd
like
throw
a
my
compression.
helmet too if I played for the freaking Panthers. Like I wouldn't even have a helmet.
It didn't look great. Yeah, you're right. Philly at Kansas City. Philly on the road against Kansas City is the favorite, 1.5. So it's not much of a favorite, but I went back and forth with this one too a little bit because Kansas City at home, but man, they just didn't impress me at all. But Philly didn't play great against Dallas, but I still have to go with Philly in this game because I'm just not sure about Kansas City right now. I think Philadelphia is a little better team. I think they are going to get ripped this week for not being more disciplined on the field. Not just Jalen Carter, the whole team. There was a lot of places where stupid plays. They weren't in the right position a lot of times, so they're going to rip for that. I'm going to take Philly on this one, beating Kansas City at home.
Yeah, I know I picked the Chiefs to win the division, but that's just because it just somehow happens. But logically, if you look at the Chiefs, last year they had a lot of one possession games that they won. And historically, you can't continue to do that every year. And with Worthy probably not playing, yeah, I
Why is
got to take
that?
the Eagles here.
Wonder why Worthy's not playing.
That was so awesome, though.
Oh man, that's brutal. What do you got, Wes?
um, I'm taking the Eagles. Um, Travis did say it was his fault.
Yeah.
I mean, which it was. You could tell it was his fault. It also was his fault when he headbutted his own teammate when he got mad at him on the screenplay where he fell down. He was probably out of shape. It's also his fault for him getting backslapped by the opposing player the next play and falling on. It's just like the team's just a mess. They look like the same team from last year. As long as the Eagles can box in Mahomes and not let him run around like he does with every other team, they should win. So I'm taking the Eagles.
Consensus on the Eagles.
Well,
Oof.
and did you see when Drew Tranquil was yelling at Chris Jones?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's like they really took the whole Kingdom documentary series. So I think it's a soap opera. They're gonna spin this Kingdom thing off into a soap opera that we're all gonna be stuck with watching for the rest of our lives. When they're all retired and their careers are over, it will. Well, you know what? We're the bad guys. We're the villains. Yeah, whatever.
oh yeah. Except you got the refs in your pocket.
Yeah, when you get the NFL on your side, you're not the bad guys or the villains.
They
Talk
might
to a
want
team that gets mysterious pass interference calls against them all the time.
to. Well, the Raiders caused that themselves over the last 50, 60, 70 years.
Just because our players would decapitate people in the 70s, which it was legal back then.
And then
Yeah.
the owner, sued the NFL.
Yeah.
But Kansas City definitely can play the sympathy card. I'm sure they will. We'll see. All right, Atlanta at Minnesota. Who's this?
Is it me?
Yeah, it's you.
I'm riding the JJ train. J JJ McCarthy to Justin Jefferson, man.
Wow.
Vikings at home. I'm going to take them to beat the Falcons. I mean, yes, Bijan had a great receiving game. He also had 12 carries for 24 yards.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm taking the Vikings here.
What is this a rematch of? It's the rematch of the game that should have been the Super Bowl. It should have been
Yeah.
the Vikings and the Broncos in the Super Bowl. And what happened? The Falcons came in and destroyed that, taking the Falcons. Michael Penix.
I like
Michael
it.
Penix did.
That's bold. Especially considering Minnesota's at home.
Care. They almost lost to the Bears.
Yeah, they did. This is going to be a close game. Um, they didn't run the ball particularly. Atlanta didn't run the ball particularly well because you talked Bijan, but also Algier didn't run either. He ran the ball like 12 times for 26 yards or something like that. So both of them were pretty bad rushing the ball for Atlanta. So they have to run the ball. If they can figure out a way to run the ball, I think they can win this game. But then you're also now we bring up Brian Flores and good defensive coordinator in Minnesota. So I got to go with Minnesota here as well. Not super happy about that one either. All right, West Tampa at Houston. Houston's the favorite, 2.5 points.
I'm going with the Houston because if they don't win, right? They have to win this game. They're playing at home. What is going on with CJ Stroud? Like, he scored 9 points. Like, you scored, like, how many points did he score against Utah in the Rose Bowl? 47? Like, what's wrong with you? I don't care what the play calling is. Make up your own plays. Like, if the play calling is that bad, just go out there and throw the ball. He has the ability, you know. They got to win the game. I don't want to see any more Baker Mayfield commercials. Please end it.
Well, I got bad news for you, Wes.
Oh, jeez.
You're going to see a lot of Baker Mayfield commercials. Oh, because Houston, there's something not right in Houston right now, and like I was saying earlier, I think there's some team cohesion that needs to happen. CJ Stroud needs to be the catalyst of that, and that might be where he lacks as a quarterback, where he has all the physical tools. He might not have that leadership ability that's necessary with a team like that. It is a big game for them. They really need to win. So you would think they'll come out and play real hard. But Tampa, they didn't have the greatest game, but they showed flares of adding additional weapons with with Emeka coming in now, right? So now their offense just looks more and more dangerous if they can play some defense and, not turn the ball over. I don't see why I don't win this game. So I'm taking Tampa.
Yeah, get ready, Wes. More Baker commercials because I got the
Oh,
Bucks also. I got the Bucks going to the Super Bowl, so of course I
Yeah,
got them.
they better be beating the Texans.
Yeah, so yeah, I got the Bucks winning because yeah, Bucky Irving didn't even have a good game. I think he
Right.
writes it this week. So yeah, I'm taking the Bucks. Baker Mayfield million commercials.
Well, it's fitting. This is the last pick of the week, and it's Monday night, last game of the week. So that's pretty awesome. Chargers at the Raiders. And I'll just give you guys my pick and let you guys talk about this game because I just don't see how the Raiders could beat the Chargers at this point. Um, with the way the Chargers looked week one, probably get a little better. And Raiders still have a few question marks in my mind, but they're at home, so that's positive for them. But I'm still taking the Chargers here.
No man, it's gonna be the Raiders. And
Well,
here's the thing. Yes, the Chargers looked good. But do we know if the Chiefs are any good? We talk about like Wes talked about the Patriots not being any good, but we don't know if the Chiefs are that. They looked slow. The Raiders defense has lots of work to do, and I know this, but they do have Max Crosby. They do have Malcolm Kuntz, and they do have Tyree Wilson. All got sacks on Drake May. I think they're going to be able to contain Herbert. Uh, Devin White looked like young Devin White, and Jamal Adams out there going. I'm not concerned about the run defense. It's going to be the pass defense. But I don't think the Chargers can stop the Raiders' offense. So this, Wes, this is the game, the calling out game, where the Raiders get some respect.
This is it. I
I think
mean, go. What do you got?
I think this is the game where Ashton Genty puts himself on the map. Playing on turf, playing on fast, playing on a fast surface. I think they open enough holes for him enough where he gets yards and he has a breakout game. Defensively, I think they do enough. I mean, we're talking about Justin Herbert here. He's not Dan Fouts yet. Maybe everyone hopes that he's going to be this great transformational quarterback. He's not there yet. I'm not saying I picked him to go to the AFC Championship game, but I think the Raiders win.
Bold pick from the Raiders fans. It's almost like picking Chicago. No, just
It
kidding.
is.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm gonna agree with like what you guys are saying that it's gonna be hard, and Genty can have a big game, and Raiders got some weapons, but the Chargers got weapons too, and you just gave up 300 yards passing to Drake May with not a lot of weapons, so you have to play some defense. The Raiders, they're gonna live and die in this game with their defense.
Well, they're going to give up yards. That's the whole defensive premise. It's a bend, don't break. So they're going to give up yards. So any fantasy quarterback is going to get his yards. It's going to be a matter, is he going to get his touchdowns?
Yeah, you got to keep them out of the end zone. That's it's going to be a test for both teams. I think. I think the Chargers. This is how where you prove you got to go on the road and be able to win on the road in a conference game, right, or a division game. And for the Raiders, this is like you. This is where you're stepping up to prove that you're. And I'm saying the Chargers are a top team, but you can play with the top teams.
Well, and then since they moved to Vegas, like people have said, it hasn't been a real home crowd for the Raiders because, visiting teams come into Vegas all the time. But they're saying it's going to be at least 80% Raider fans there. Kind of like a charge when they play the Chargers in LA, it's
Yeah.
80% Raiders fans.
Yeah, it's weird because it's not that far away, right? You'd think that
Right.
you'd get a good mix in both those games. All right, well, there it is. Still a swing game. I think we have more swing games where that we only had a few where we're kind of consensus on them.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting week for us.
Well, yeah, I think what command. No, wait, you took the Packers. Bills, Ravens, Cowboys, Bengals, Eagles,
Cardinals,
Cardinals.
that's it.
Yeah.
So just a few there. All right. Well, before we move out real quick, we're not going to have time to talk too much fantasy tonight, but starting off the HSC Podcast Fantasy Week, I lost week one, of course, to my sister, and her husband's already telling me that she's already bragging. And as Wes would say, calm down. It's week one. It's a long season.
Well, Wes and I put up the most points.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on. Some of the guys that should have scored for me just did nothing, and so that's just there's nothing you can do about that when so many of your high pick players just don't perform.
Well, you're going up against turf monsters, Steve, so it's going to be tough. He's got Josh Allen.
Yeah,
I beat him last week with him having Josh Allen.
yeah, that's crazy. I like my chances. So you're both 1-0. I'm starting off on one in fantasy. Nothing real too much to talk about fantasy wise. Obviously not a lot of big injuries. It's just week one. Not a reason to panic with your players. So if they didn't play great, don't make too many swaps. For those out there listening, you don't need to redo your whole team yet. Give it some time.
Don't trade Chase and Burrow away in the first week.
First week, right? There was a couple waiver wire pickups. If in your league you didn't get that Cleveland Fannin tight end, that's someone everybody should have picked up. I think every league picked him up by now.
Yeah, I picked up Hollywood Brown because of the injuries at receiver for the
Right.
Chiefs.
Yeah, I saw that in both my leagues as well. Yeah, other than that, I'll wrap NFL week one, getting into week two. Those are our predictions. Check them out. Love to hear any comments. We'll get some shorts going for you on them. Wrapping up football here. Let's just quickly talk college. There are a couple games this week that are worth mentioning, right? So technically, this is week three, but a lot of teams have played their two games, and any surprises at this point as far as the standings?
Well, I'm pretty much done watching college football now, so stupid Florida.
I mean, Florida had a rough start, but I mean, if you look at what's going on at the top, like if Florida State surprises me to already be up to 10, I don't think a lot of people saw that coming.
Florida has the hardest schedule I've ever seen in my life.
It's so bad.
Dude,
Yeah.
the next 3 weeks, they play all top 10 teams. There's only two teams left on their schedule
Right.
that are not ranked.
Yeah, we talked
Everybody
about
else
that. It's
is
crazy.
ranked in the top 15, not even top 25. They're ranked in the top 15.
Well, and you think about it now, South Florida's now top 25.
Yeah, they're 18th.
Right. So now they played another top 25 that wasn't on their schedule before.
Yeah, it's insane.
Michigan dropped out there losing, so they're barely hanging on to the top 25. Alabama, same thing. Their loss drops them down into that 19 rank. But other than that, you kind of look at there and everything looks, mostly normal. Notre Dame, obviously, with a tough start to their season with that one game, but it's just one game.
Tennessee, Georgia this week.
Yeah, so let's talk a couple of these games here real quick. So Tennessee, Georgia, I saw that one. It's in Tennessee. Georgia's a favorite. It's I guess the question for me with Georgia is can Gunner carry the team?
Right.
Because they just don't look that great as a whole. Their defense obviously is typically strong because they get so many good players, but their offense is, I don't know. It looks like Gunner's trying to carry the team, and he has carried the team so far. And into these big games, can he carry those through Texas, Alabama, Tennessee, those type of teams?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Tennessee is that great. We'll see. That's the thing is like these teams, Georgia and Tennessee, and them, have they even played anyone yet?
No, no.
So we don't really know for sure how
Right. And Tennessee's stats look amazing because they just won by 70, and it looks like they got two running backs have got, 150 yards apiece already, and Aguilar's thrown 7 touchdowns. And
East Tennessee State.
but the question is, now that they have Georgia, how are they going to perform?
Right.
I mean, I think at 3.5, you got to go with Georgia.
Yeah, I gotta go Georgia until obviously they lose. For me, yeah, it's funny. Like I know I these two teams I hate more than any teams, but I hate Tennessee more. But I believe it's funny to me, and I want to see them kind of win and UCLA lose. Because,
Right.
dude, how bad do you look if you're Nico now?
Right. Especially if they play really well and then UCLA plays bad and you did it all for the money. And then sometimes you just look at the kid and you're like, he probably just doesn't even care. He just wanted the money. What do you think
But that's the
there,
thing
Wes?
is, you know what? Like
Right,
now that
good.
we're paying these people, players, if they start performing bad, can you just kick them off the contract? I mean, out of your scholarship?
Why not? I think it should go both ways, right? If you can collect
Yeah.
the money, you should be responsible to earn it.
I just can't wait to see Georgia play the Dallas Cowboys in a Cup Series game. I think it'd be awesome. It'd be so awesome. But Georgia's got to get better. Georgia's not what they were. I'm not a big fan of the quarterback. Um, I'm taking Tennessee.
Wow, I like it. I mean, I actually hope Tennessee wins this game, uh, partly for the same reason that Derek was just talking about, because I really was really a little miffed and upset about that whole scenario there. And I get it, kids just trying to make money, but what a horrible way to do it. But also, like, I'm just not a huge Georgia fan.
Mm. I'm not a fan of neither team, so
Yeah, just never really liked Georgia that much. So um, I think Georgia's going to win, but I wouldn't mind seeing Tennessee. Here's the game of the week, though, right? South Florida at Miami. Miami's a 17.5 point favorite. But let me tell you and everybody why this is the game of the week. South Florida wins this game, right? On the road against number 5 Miami, being an 18-point underdog. That means they beat number 25, number 13, then number 5, and then they play nobody the rest of the season. So they make it to the playoff, right?
yeah. Well, I think it was Danny Cannell said if they win, if they beat Miami, they should be number one.
I mean, given that schedule, geez, the way you're starting, right? They've played a lot of, but I'm just saying that South Florida is playing for their season right now. This could put them into the college football playoff potentially by winning this game and run out. So if I'm their coach, like I'm pitching this game as like this is our season. You want to leave it all on the field. So I'm taking South Florida. They're gonna leave it all on the field. They're gonna beat Miami.
You just took South Florida.
I did.
Oh
Well, Wes, I'm taking South Florida too.
no!
Uh-oh.
Come on. You're not a believer in Carson Beck? What's wrong with you guys?
I mean, yeah, they did beat Notre Dame. It was a close game. But Notre Dame didn't look particularly great. Then that Bethune Cookman game, that was probably a real good warm up for them.
Dude, come on, dude. I get it, but you know who's going to be on the sideline for that game? Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
He'll be on the sideline, dude.
Yeah.
whipping those boys into shape. I've seen him in practice. It's hilarious. It's awesome.
I think it's great.
It's great. He's like, you don't go off the ball like this. You go whoa, like he's using the swim move as a receiver. I was like, dude, I gotta take the U.
Miami has got a lot of weapons, right? So it's
Enough.
tough comparatively against South Florida, number one. But just in general, they're not like superstar weapons, but they all are very athletic. They run the ball well. So we'll see if South Florida can maintain. If they play anything though, like they did against Florida and specifically also Boise State, like they have a chance. But they got to really come to play. So we'll see what happens. I don't think there was any other top 25 games where two teams were playing each other in the top 25.
I don't think there is.
Oh wait, yeah, no, there was Notre Dame, Texas A&M. That's right. Which this is a big game for Notre Dame because you're already 0-1. So now you got to go. You're at home though. You get Texas A&M, but Texas A&M's got that quarterback. Jeez, what's his name? Marcel Reed. That's his name. Run pass threat. Like he's pretty good. I don't think this is an easy win at all for Notre Dame. What do you think?
I mean, I'm taking Texas A&M just because it's SEC ball, and Texas A&M has been relegated a little bit on the fringe of the SEC, and even a school like Texas A&M, they got a lot of pride. I think they come in and smack them in the mouth. They win by enough. It's not going to be a blowout, but come on, dude. This is like Texas. Notre Dame kind of embarrassed them last time they played. I think they got caught off guard. I don't think so this time. I think they do enough to win.
Yeah, Notre Dame. There's a little bit of a question mark around them, right? It's mainly at quarterback, but he didn't play horrible against Miami, but they didn't not enough to get the win. And so you're gonna have to play. He's gonna have to play well, and Notre Dame's gonna have to play pretty good defense, especially stopping Reed when he's that dual threat. So, man, I don't. I want to take Texas A&M as well. I think they're gonna do it.
No, man, it's Notre Dame.
There's like not a chance.
No. They got the dual threat two running backs going, and the quarterback did not play that bad against Miami. So yeah, Notre Dame's defense is still Notre Dame's defense, so I'm taking Notre Dame.
Yeah. All right. Well, those are really the only big games. I guess LSU, Florida, just for Derek, they're only a 7.5 underdog against number 3 LSU.
I'm taking Florida.
In LSU.
I don't care. I'm taking Florida. Niesmeyer is going to be a decent pro. He's good enough, but I think Florida wins the game. We're in Lagway. You have a big game. Think you're going to see their weapons come out and shine. I'm not saying they're going to go 8-4 here. I'm just saying one of those games I think they're going to win. So,
well, this goes a long way to getting your season back if you're Florida, right? Yeah, I get it. Your
It's the only way for
just,
Napier to keep his job.
Yeah. The schedule's just crazy though. But yeah, this is where it starts. It kind of starts here at LSU because you go 1-2 here, and then you got Miami, Texas, Texas A&M, Georgia, all these teams. Like that's real rough.
and remember we talked about earlier about teams taking a loss. This is kind of in the like if Georgia's going to lose or LSU's going to lose, you can lose here and you can lose once more, and that's about it.
Right.
So for this idea, this concept, or everyone's just going to have a run, run through the schedule and not lose. This is the SEC. This isn't the freaking ACC. Like, you're going to lose one or two games. If you lose one, you're very fortunate. But LSU and Georgia, to me, seem like the teams that, they'll probably take two losses. And this could be one of them for LSU here, is Florida.
Yeah, at home LSU though, man, I gotta go with LSU.
Yeah, I got to take LSU.
Really, Derek?
He's going against your team. He's got to do it.
You're
Well, the way
bailing?
they play.
You've already jumped ship? You said this
No, I just
over a
I
couple
watched the
minutes
South
ago?
Florida game,
I know.
and it was like they were a bear, but they didn't know what to do with their claws.
Whoever burned that up.
But this is LSU. This isn't South Florida.
Right.
They're on the road. They were playing at home against South Florida. They should have annihilated them. And they didn't know how to I don't know how to have a good game plan here. So either it is because which is stupid because they're not that good, they looked ahead to LSU and didn't take South Florida like a real team, or they're just not that good.
I mean, that's what you're going to find out, I think, this week. If they go in and LSU blows them out, which could possibly happen, it's 35-7 or something, then yeah, you're like, well,
Yeah.
it's more than a wrap.
Mm.
All right, well, that's the big games, a little college football talk there. So we'll wrap up the sports segment there. And then we'll get right back to you. We got a quick movie segment here, and we'll jump right into that actually, because this shouldn't take a long time for us to go through. So we'll keep on one segment. So for movies media this week, we're gonna do we've had the overrated movies. We did the 80s, we did the 90s. It seemed like people liked that a lot. Got a lot of good views and some comments from people about the overrated movies. Maybe they didn't like what we were saying, maybe they did, but here we go. We're gonna do overrated movies 2000 and on. And boy, this is an interesting list.
Yeah, I just did 2000 to 2010 because they're just it's 25 years. So
Right, there's a lot in there. And I think a lot of mine kind of fall into that range anyway, but man, what a interesting list, right? So let's get into it. Let's start. I mean, so when we talk overrated movies, doesn't mean it's a bad movie. So just clarify for people, sometimes I guess you can call it bad. Sometimes they got hype and they were still bad, and that's maybe why you thought it was overrated. A lot of the times it's, people just seem to love these movies where it might be an okay movie, just not that much to love. So if we're talking number 5 here, so HSC Podcast top 5 overrated movies of 2000s plus. Number 5, I'm kind of back and forth on these two, but I'll slip my one. My number 5 is The Blind Side. So this is Sandra Bullock, where the
fake
family,
movie.
yeah, because it's based on a true story, even though they've come back and forth with some of it's not all necessarily true. But it's about Sandra Bullock, and they basically adopt the football player to make him go play where they want him to play. What a horrible story that is. But but people loved it. It got high ratings, and people are like, oh, it's such a feel good story. I don't think it's that good of a feel good story. I think it kind of sucks for that dude, but I guess it gets him out of a bad situation too. So there's something good about that. But I just don't like. I didn't also like Sandra Bullock's acting in it, where I think she's a great actress. I like a lot of her movies. I just didn't like her in this one, so I had to slip that one in there in the top five. What do you got at five, Derek?
Well, my five is might not be popular, but it was an okay movie, but everyone's like, oh, it's genius comedy. And that's Borat.
Oh, nice. I looked at
It,
that.
Borat's, it's kind of funny. It's okay, but it's not like everyone makes it seem like, oh, it's like revolutionary funny. It's not. It's okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of lines in it that people remember. I think that's a part of the that nostalgia, or even the remembering the movie as better than it is. There's
Right.
some funny lines that people use, and because everybody says a Borat line from time to time.
Yeah. Nice.
Say nice,
Mhm.
but I can see that. I like it. All right, Wes, what do you got at five?
Well, another Sandra Bullock movie
Good.
that people have probably forgotten back when they used to actually talk about movies all the time because there's nothing else to talk about is a movie called Crash.
Interesting.
It's won Best Picture, and all of a sudden it's so great, and it, you know, it's an all right movie, but it was just like I remember back in, this is back when I was living in LA, and it was like it's so revolutionary. It's like no, it's not.
Right.
Okay, it's a movie that has Don Cheadle in it. Congratulations. It's just it wasn't that good, you know. So
Well, you get a lot. I mean, because haggis was pretty hot back then too.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah, for me, it's like I just remember Thandie Newton and Matt Dillon. That was
Right.
about it.
no.
No, I could see that. It's not one of those movies where I'm like, man, I just want to watch Crash a bunch.
Well, it's one of those Oscar bait movies where it's like, ooh, this is so great. And then you're like, later, you're like, no, that kind of sucked. It wasn't that great.
Right.
Should not have won. Which is
I like
not what the Oscars are known for a lot of times.
it. Yeah. All right, number four. What do you got at four, Derek?
This is another one that might tick people off. It might tick people off here. But I was like, it's okay. And that's Gladiator.
Wow. Yeah,
I
that's
just watched that last night.
It's all right. I mean,
Is it Braveheart? No. Remember? They try to make it Braveheart. It's not Braveheart.
no.
No way.
I would take like Rob Roy over this.
Whoa.
I don't know about that.
Dude, Rob Roy is awesome. I'd take Rob Roy over Braveheart.
Oh, jeez, dude.
Now you're just getting crazy.
Dude.
Dude,
Rob Roy over Braveheart?
Yeah,
no. When was the last time you watched Rob Roy?
Well, it's hard to watch.
yeah, it's kind of hard to watch, but it's been a while for sure.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm like, boy, I really want to watch Rob Roy right now.
Rob Roy and Liam Neeson and Tim Roth. That right there.
Afterwards, I'll watch Conan the Barbarian.
And Clan of the Cave Bear.
I mean, and then Gladiator, they made that sequel, which was just dumb.
I know.
That was horrible.
I get what I do get what you're saying to a certain extent. It's. I remember when, again, we're down in LA and it was like the greatest movie, Gladiator. It's like, really? I was like, yes, it should be Best Picture, but let's pump the brakes a bit. Like, it was just, remember, he was the biggest actor after that, It's like, yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I liked Gladiator a lot. Um, I was a little bit irritated by Joaquin Phoenix in just the way he played his role, but Russell Crowe was killing it. It's probably why everybody loved him.
Well, I mean, if I'm going to take, I'd rather watch the Stars show Spartacus over Gladiator.
Man, that's a lot of hate for Gladiator, dude.
Dude, have you watched the Spartacus show on Stars?
No, I mean
That was a great show.
Mm-hmm.
I've probably seen some of it.
Yeah, Gladiator's a little bit kind of Hollywood. But here's the thing. It was 2000. They didn't have I think people they wanted more entertainment than anything else.
Are you not entertained?
I mean, I agree. I mean, you can make arguments for that for sure. People aren't gonna like my number four either
We got to
because I
let
got.
Wes get his in.
Oh yeah, you go first, Wes, then I'll
Just
go.
don't say The Departed.
Yeah, you give us yours, Wes, and I'll go. So we keep going around.
Oh, this is easy. Everyone's gonna love my number four, Van Helsing. How
Oh
many months
wow.
do I have to listen to Van Helsing? Like I'm just to turn on the TV. I'm like, I just want to watch the news. Van Helsing. I'm like, no, I don't want to see another movie. If you want to pay me $1,000, $2,000 to go watch Van Helsing, yes, I will. I'll watch it 10 times. But when you say Van Helsing, you know what you're telling me? You're saying, oh, Anthony Hopkins is in because that's the greatest Van Helsing ever.
Oh, nice.
That is the best Van Helsing ever. I mean, let's just stop everything right here. And I'm gonna watch this movie. Like, no, I like Hugh Jackman, but come on, they're trying to make Hugh Jackman into a star. This is what they did in the early 2000s. We need to find the next Schwarzenegger and the next, Mel Gibson. All this. No, Hugh Jackson's not that. I'm sorry.
I mean, I can't really hard disagree with you on this one at all because I do enjoy the movie because I like the story, but you look at it and it's like it's kind of poorly done. The graphic CGI or whatever you want to call it's kind of crappy. The the writing is just like the whoever wrote the dialogue in that one did not do a very good job. But
It's an entertaining movie, but I don't want to sit there and watch 3 months and you're just begging me to go to this movie because it tells me the producers or whoever the people in the studios, okay, let me see the final version, and they're like, oh crap, we need to brainwash every American citizen to go watch this movie because it's so filthy. That's what it tells me, and that's what they did.
I mean, that's a lot of hate for Van Helsing there, Wes.
I didn't even give it a second thought, Van Helsing.
Right. No, it's a lot of good points there, though. I mean, I like it. It's a good number four. Mine's there's gonna be certain people that may agree, but certain people are gonna really hate it. It's The Matrix Reloaded because I really like The Matrix. I thought The Matrix was a good movie, and then you expect like the second one to come out, and it's just gonna be awesome, right? You're gonna be like, this is gonna be so cool. They're gonna follow up this really cool movie. It's gonna be a good series trilogy, and then like the Reloaded version or the second one, it was they tried to have all this action in it and like they forgot about continuing to tell like the story in a good way like they started it in the first one and then it just at some point just kind of got out of control like just with all the different fight scenes and the things happening and I was like it's not really a movie anymore now you're just like trying to like blow people's mind with all the cool things that are happening instead of just really making a good follow-up movie to a what I thought was a great first movie.
What about The Architect? That was pretty deep.
I mean,
Dude, I had to watch that 4 times. I'm like,
dude.
what the hell is he talking about?
Well, then you got half the other people are confused.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more, Steven. That what I can't think of a movie that sets up the sequel so well and then like it goes full. The first Matrix was awesome.
Right.
And then you want more, and then you get what you get, and you're like, what the is this?
Right. You completely didn't continue the story with me. I mean, I get it. You spin it into this different things that are happening in the story because you got to get it to a certain place. But man, it was like, at least make a movie that keeps me interested in the story that you told me in the first one.
You know what? This is what I'm gonna say, dude. You tell me I'm wrong. What what is the most famous sequel to a movie is where it gets super dark? And what happens? The best thing that could have happened to Trinity is she died. And of course, he has to save Trinity. Like, come on, dude.
Right.
Let's talk about Empire Strikes Back here. Like,
Yeah.
like everything goes to hell. That's the way it's supposed to go. It's a trilogy.
Right.
And then in a trilogy, you come back and like, come on, dude. You can't save Trinity.
Should just killed her.
Well, I mean, something happens and whatever.
Yeah.
What if she got plugged back in and he had to go back in to get her? Like it's like, like hit her own carbonite.
Right. There you go. And then just take a full pages right out of Star Wars. But yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people love The Matrix and they love the whole series and things like that, but that one for me really was a failure.
Well, and then they killed the one guy off screen, even though he lived in the first movie because they got into an argument with the directors and stuff.
Right.
And it's like, oh, we're going to create new characters instead.
You know what? I just don't like the opening club scene where they're all like massaging each other. Like, like it was like, really? Do we really need this in the movie? Like, I get it, but come on, dude. Can we throw something more substantive, like dialogue or
For
scene?
me, it was
It's like,
the blonde dread person
yeah.
thing, which was multi people. I was like,
Oh,
what's going on here?
no,
What
no,
are we
no, no.
doing?
This is when it all ended when it came to making movies like that. And this is the golden rule. It's probably a top five rule for me making a movie. Only principal characters should talk. Dude, it's like in that movie, like everyone's talking. It's like, no,
Yeah.
you should not talk. Who are you? I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Did you pay off a director or did you just sleep with the producer to get 4 lines in this movie? Why are you talking? Only Keanu Reeves should be talking. Only a Morpheus should be talking. And everyone's talking. You're like, why are you talking? I have no idea. You do. Like, how much did you have to put out to get 5 lines in this movie?
That's funny. Well, so we all agree on that one. All right. Wes, what do you got at 3?
Oh, jeez. This is really hard because I loathe these 3 movies with a passion. And it's like watching a NASCAR race, like watching the Indy or watching Daytona 500. You have 3 cars like going 3 wide, and I'm like, I don't know which one, and I'm gonna go $1 Million Baby 3.
Oh my gosh.
$1 Million Baby 3.
People are gonna hate that.
It should be number 1, but I know I'm thinking about everybody. It's like, okay, it was all right to a certain extent, but better than The Aviator. Are we kidding? Like, that's the best picture over Aviator.
Yeah.
Like, this is ridiculous. And the ending this is back when it was all about the euthanasia and all this stuff. And it looked like such a fraud. Like, oh, please don't die. I'll kill you. It's like, it's like so stupid.
Oh man. I I didn't super enjoy the movie
Until
either.
the end.
Yeah, that's the point is like there was still parts of it though that kept it off my top 5, even though I was real close. Like I could have easily switched that out with The Blind Side. So that's a tough one, but I agree. Well, 3 for me. I mean, I'm all 3 of these people are really just gonna hate, but I just don't enjoy them. So I got 3. I got Avatar.
Yeah.
Don't enjoy the story that much. Um,
Dances with Wolves.
yeah, yeah, just a huge, huge movie. Everybody loved it. All obviously the James Cameron effect. Probably a huge budget. I never even looked at their budget. 237 million. Yeah, that's a huge budget. But it's like the a paraplegic marine, is on a moon in Pandora. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here?
The
You
rides at
can
Disney at
you could
Animal
get a
Kingdom suck too.
you could do a better story than this. So I didn't enjoy it at all, and people just love it. Like
It's because everybody wants to be a blue person. Everyone thinks they're like, I'm a blue person from this blue
maybe
planet.
it's
Like
from
that's a blue person.
Smurfs. Like when they were training us from kids. That's why there was Smurfs. They were like, one day we're gonna make an avatar. I mean,
Dude,
I
maybe
like
that's it.
the ride at Disney World is cool, but that's about it. So that's I got Avatar at 3.
Well, my number three has already been said, and it is because the ending is so dumb and ridiculously stupid. You're a fighter, and you're gonna give up like that?
Yeah,
No, that's so stupid. It's Million Dollar Baby. That's
yeah,
the dumbest movie. I hate it so much.
that's awesome.
Oh,
Oh man,
oh, give up. No, you're a fighter. You keep fighting. Freaking
But
quitter.
no, she
Twitter.
falls on the stool. Like, really? We can't
So
think of
stupid.
something better than that? Like,
Yeah,
come on, Clint.
I mean, I think yeah, we all. I mean, I could easily have put it in there, but no wonder Derek wasn't piping up too much when Wes was going on his rant. Oh man. All right. Well, that takes us to number 2. And again, man, this might as well be saying one we did in a previous episode, but this is Twilight for me. And I know people are gonna be like,
Fuck you.
it's this is the Titanic of this year, this year set because gosh, people are just gonna hate it. They're gonna make all these great arguments for why Twilight's amazing, and I'm like, it's not well written, it's not well acted, it's the same story we've seen a million times. What's cool about it?
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing cool about it. It's just the same thing. And then I mean, the people in it, and first of all, I just don't like Taylor Lautner. I just don't like him. Never did. But like I said, it's just
Well,
the
it's
same
all
thing.
creepy too, dude. It's like, oh, I can't have you, so I'll be with your daughter.
Didn't he date Jessica Simpson? That's the only thing I remember from Taylor in a lot.
No, he dated Taylor Swift.
No, he didn't.
Yes.
Like when?
Gosh, remember what was the
I mean, God,
You need to keep up on your Hollywood media. I mean, that's
they were in Valentine's Day together as a couple also. But yeah, they were a couple for, a short time.
till Taylor made a song about him.
No, I think they're that one I think they're on actual good terms, which
Yeah,
is odd, but
a few months in 2009.
yeah.
Yep,
Taylor and Taylor.
Taylor and Taylor met in the movie Valentine's Day. Sad that you know that, Derek.
Hey, I'm hip to
It's like I'm down with all the gossip. But
that's
yeah,
right.
so that's me on Twilight. Like I said, I can't get into it. There's nothing that I enjoy about it, and I had to put there in number 2. It could have been easily number 1, very easily. So what do you got at 2, Derek?
Oh, and number two, and I might get from you guys on this one, but I've never been a fan of this director, and this movie should have been awesome, but it was horrible. The writing, like the dialogue was so bad. and it was just so long for no reason. And it put a stupid love story in it that was just ridiculously dumb. Like, oh, let's make this a love triangle. No, let's not. And that's stupid Pearl Harbor.
Oh yeah, no, I don't disagree with that at all.
It's
I
like
mean,
Wes, we went all, were you with us when we saw that in Seaside?
I don't remember.
Oh, we saw it with, it was Dustin and I think, God, what was his name? Shiloh?
Yeah.
But yeah, we won it and we're like, this movie sucks.
well, yeah, it's not a bad movie because of what it's about. I really
Right.
enjoy.
That part looks like it had
Right.
the making of a good movie, and then they
Yep.
put the stupid love story in it.
Right. Right.
And
But
then it
it
was like,
also
oh,
was
let's make it a
very
love triangle. And that's what the movie became about.
it was very drawn out. It was you're right, it's unnecessarily long to get to the point of that movie because that could have been a very good movie.
Yeah.
Actually a pretty big, not a huge, but I like Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, and so and Ben Affleck, he he's hit most of the time. It's not every time, but
It's
he's hit most of the time.
it's just like, oh, we're like, let's do an action movie of The Notebook or something. It's
An action movie with a Notebook. I love it. Oh man. I mean, I couldn't put it in my top five just because I just really enjoy anything World War II. But I mean, like I said, I can't totally disagree with that. I see exactly where you're coming from. All right, Wes, what do you got at two?
I have a movie from the year 2008 that won Best Picture. And the movie
Slumdog
called
Millionaire.
Slumdog Millionaire. And part of the reason is the ridiculous idea that this movie actually won 8 Academy Awards in this Oscar when Gandhi, which we're going to talk about Indian movies, probably one of the best movies and performances of all time, only won 8 compared to this movie. It was nominated for 10 Academy Awards. It won 8.
Nuts.
It won 80% of the Oscars it was up for. And how many times has anyone talked about it in the last 15 to 17 years? Nobody. It's never on TV. You never see it anywhere. It's never on TNT. It's nowhere to be found.
Bollywood.
Bollywood, yeah.
They play it all the time.
Like you're saying, like I'd rather watch like Life of Pi than that.
I mean, that's brutal. I mean, that's the best point, and I mean, I'll just spoil it right now because we're already there. That's my number one. It's so unrealistic, but it is supposed to be realistic, and they're trying to show like a good parts about the Indian culture, and I love that part of it, and I'd love to see more of that in a more realistic way, with more like realistic writing and actual plot to it. That when you watch it, you're just like, oh, so these kids are just perfect little angels. You're like, really? You came from that, and you're just out here. You're the best person in the world. Is that what you are? Come on, dude. Like, let's just get realistic about the movie. Then I might have enjoyed it a little bit more. But because I don't mind the premise, I don't like the story. I don't like the writing. I don't like the only thing I like about this movie is that they could have made it 3 hours long, and they only made it 2 hours long. So I agree, Wes, with your two, because that's my number one. So no reason to talk about it twice. There it is, number one.
Was like Don Draper says, I don't even think about you. I don't. I don't even think about Slumdog
No,
Millionaire.
never want to see it again. Never thought about it again. Never been like, a movie I haven't seen in a while I should watch. Slumdog Millionaire.
Well, anticlimactic. My number one has already been said too, but it was said earlier, and that is, I just this movie irritates me so much because now they're making a bunch of them, and the movie sucked, and that's Avatar. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It's like, oh, cool. The special effects are cool. Ooh, 3D. That's how you got all your money is because you made this cool 3D thing. But the story is bad. It's just
Right.
a rehash. It's like it's not anything new. It's like, oh, but we're gonna do it in space. But it's Dances with Wolves.
It's
It's
like
what Fern Gully, right? Isn't that the other one? It's like it's Fern Gully.
Jason Goes to Space. Like you just ran out of ideas. So you're like, let's just make this movie in space.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not a fan of Avatar. I haven't watched the new one. I haven't even. It has no interest to me. The only thing that anything with Avatar was cool is like, ooh, the special effects. But that's
Well,
the
they're
movie was.
ramping up for another one too, right?
Oh yeah, because it's Disney.
Yeah.
They gotta get
We'll have
milk it.
Avatar in 2050.
I think there's gonna be like 5 Avatar movies.
Yeah, they're already working on the next one. But I agree. I mean, I had them right there.
Yeah, they're
Uh,
planning on. Wait, of course James Cameron because he wants money. Plans on making maybe 6 or 7.
right. Yeah, so we were literally gonna have Avatar in the year 2040.
So we have 7 Avatars, and we're just finally getting our second Spaceballs movie.
What's wrong with these guys?
I'd rather have 7 Spaceballs movies.
I could have easily had Avatar at number one as well. My top three were all interchangeable. All right, Wes. Don't keep us waiting. Give us
Well,
the surprise.
there's no. This is not going to be a surprise. The movie's already been said. Is Twilight
Yeah.
because what did this movie have any redeemable value to the freaking society that we live in? Except there's a banner hanging in a town that we live next to. It's like we shot Twilight here. Well, congratulations, the movie wasn't that good. I don't know how they made 5 more, whatever. I've lost count. I don't know how many. Like, how do you even make more than one after watching the first one? You know, um, I'm surprised. There's a lot of things that surprise me about the movie. Doesn't make sense to me. Is it the worst movie I've ever seen? No, but for people to obsess about it was what annoyed me.
Well, it's got such a cult following. It's
Yeah,
nuts.
like a cult following, and all I want to do is like, have you ever seen, Francis Ford Coppola Dracula? You want to watch a vampire movie? This is what a vampire movie is. This is stupid. Like it's a love story. It's like Titanic with blood sucking vampires. Like, oh yeah, it's so
That's
cute.
Sparkle.
Can you please
Well, look. Oh, last cut off again. Every time, right at the end. He must have a limited time on his phone.
Yeah.
Um, but I also don't want people to get it wrong. Like I don't mind because we've named Titanic before. You just talked about Pearl Harbor's love story. Now we're talking Titanic, Twilight. I don't mind love stories in movies. Like they're good movies with good love stories in them. But sometimes that's with some of these bigger production and more followed movies or the ones that everybody loves. It's either unnecessary or it's not done well or it just clouds the more of the story than it should. So I don't mind love stories in movies. It's just these ones just don't happen to work for me.
Yeah.
So
There
a
are
lot.
there are
What's
love
that?
stories done well, and then
Yeah.
then there's this.
And then there's this. So a lot of the same stuff there. Um, in the top five. So I'm going to break down my top five here. Just giving my HSC podcast top five. For me, I have The Blind Side. I have Matrix Reloaded at 4. I had Avatar at 3, Twilight at 2, and Slumdog Millionaire at number 1.
Okay, let me think if I could find it. I think I had Borat at 5, Gladiator at 4. Why can't I think of my 3? Million Dollar Baby at 3,
Yep.
um, Pearl Harbor 2, and Avatar 1.
Avatar 1. And we probably won't get Wes back for his 5, but I think we all had basically all the same movies. Uh,
You know what he had Twilight, he had Million Dollar Baby in there, he had
Slumdog Millionaire.
Dog Millionaire.
And he had a couple. He had another one that was different. A couple that were different though. So,
Right.
and if you're interested, go back and watch. All right. Well, thanks for listening. That ran a little longer than we wanted to. Appreciate everybody staying around listening. Next week we'll get in NFL Week 3 breakdowns. Probably talk a little more fantasy football, and yeah, maybe have another movie review for you. So thanks for watching. See you next time.